your boss, President Tinubu. He's been on the political scene in Nigeria for decades, first as governor of Lagos and now as president since 2023. He's a very rich man in a very impoverished country, and there's a lot of mystery as to where he got his wealth, estimated to be in the billions of dollars. What do you say to people who highlight allegations against him of, quote, massive corruption and misappropriation of funds?
That's their opinion.
Actually, it's your opinion. In January 2023, you talked about the legal petition against him that involves, quote, massive corruption and misappropriation of funds. You were in the opposition and were very critical of his wealth.
Exactly verbatim what I said, because what you just said is not a true representation of
January 22nd, 2023, you said the petition against him involves massive corruption and misappropriation of funds belonging to the government of Lagos State, abuse of official office, conflict of interest.
I'm glad you said the petition against him.
Yeah.
Yeah, document that was taken to court.
That you highlighted.
I wasn't the one that went to court. And at that time, where was I?
You were an opposition member.
Thank you.
So should we not trust you when you say things as opposition?
What is the job of opposition?
To oppose?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you know it.
For the sake of opposing?
No, that's what you're adding.
I mean, you didn't just say that.
No, go to Westminster on Wednesday by 9 o'clock.
Okay.
You'll understand the job of the opposition.
You can do whataboutism all day, that's fine. You also said that, well, you know what doesn't happen in Westminster in the US Congress?
I know what does happen.
Well, I'm telling you what doesn't happen. Politicians don't accuse other politicians of setting up a militia.
They also accuse the governing party.
You said at the time.
On mistake in judgment in appointing someone that eventually turned out to be somebody in the FC.
Yeah, if you think that this is comparable to Starmer and Mandelson, good luck to you if that's your defense tonight. You said at the time that Tinubu started a militia to sway the election corruptly and that they even threatened you. So how can we take anything seriously you say tonight in his defense?
Your opinion, Nigerians...
So my opinion is your opinion. Sorry, Daniel, it's your opinion.
That was litigated in Nigeria to conclusion, and then as a country we moved on. We are more interested about the deliverables that we have for the Nigerian people, and we look for opportunities.
Nigerians are very concerned about corruption, and Tinubu, you said this, Tinubu and his people created a militia. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria we've seen a political party creating a militant arm leading to election. Your words, January 2023.
Context is everything.
There is no context.
I'm coming. You are quoting the things I said when I was in the opposition.
And I understand that's uncomfortable for you, but you did say them. If you want to disown them, that's fine.
For you to ask anything I've ever said.
So does he have a militia that tried to kill you?
He doesn't have. I never said he tried to kill me.
I myself have received threats from him and his camp. Your words.
I never said that.
You didn't say that at a press conference on January 22nd, 2023. You're just denying.
I never said that.
Who said it then? A lookalike?
No, I don't know what you meant by that. I know I complained at the time about the conduct of election.
It is not my fault that I am able to recall your words in a way you can't.
But it will be your fault when you read it out of context. Yeah.
If we go home late tonight, context.
Yes.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria we've seen a political party creating a militant arm and leading to election. He advised his people should grab by all means necessary the process leading to elections, that they created this militia shortly after that. We have seen violence in Nigeria, and I myself have received threats from him and his camp.
Tinubu never created a militia. Tinubu is one of the foremost politicians in Nigerian history.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. Who said those words, Daniel?
Tinubu has helped in strengthening democracy in Nigeria.
Tinubu and his people created a militia, Daniel. Who said those words?
Tinubu brought in leadership skills into governance.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. Who said those words?
Tinubu and his people never created the militia.
So why did you say they did on January 22nd, 2023?
I never said that.
Let's keep going, since you're denying words that came out of your mouth. Let's quote some other folks. The Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project named President Tinubu a finalist for the 2024 Corrupt Person of the Year award. According to a 2025 poll, 2 out of 3 Nigerians think the president and his team are involved in corruption.
That's a statement from drunken people. Next question.
2 out of 3 Nigerians are drunk.
No, start with the first one. What would you say the first time?
The first one was the OCCR reporting project.
They are the drunken people.
Okay, what about the Nigerians? Are they sober? Are 2 out of 3 Nigerians sober when they say you're president and you were involved in corruption?
Nigerians are entitled to hold and express opinion.
Yes,
it is in our constitution. The fact that you express an opinion does not substantiate that opinion.
I agree, but that's their opinion. You accept that 2 out of 3 Nigerians think that your government is corrupt.
I would be happy if you can tell me a finding of court that says Tinubu is corrupt.
Well, what's interesting you should say that, because a lot of Nigerians have reason to suspect that his wealth was built on illicit activity.
A lot of English people have complained about the Prime Minister.
You can
a lot
talk
of Americans have complained. There is no country of the world where the people aren't complaining about their leaders.
All right.
That's how
I love it when you set these challenges. Can you find me a country in the world where the sitting president The US government seized $500,000 from one of their Chicago bank accounts after investigators found probable cause that the funds were proceeds of drug trafficking, specifically heroin. Tinubu gave up the money in a settlement. He was never indicted of a crime. But when a US judge last year ordered the release of all of the documents by the FBI, Tinubu went to court to prevent it. What does he have to hide?
The minute a matter is taken to court by right, you have the right to send your lawyer. The fact that you send a lawyer to defend your matter or to go against a motion that is filed before the court is not a conclusive proof of acceptance of the fact
he's obviously got something
that was
to hide.
taken to the court.
He gave up $500,000, which were probably the proceeds of drug trafficking.
I'm glad you used the word probably, but it is not. Go ahead.
You said in 2022 that this drug case, quote, conclusively concluded not in favor of Bwala because he had to forfeit that money. There is still a cloud around drug-related activity.
Cloud,
yeah,
not a conclusion.
Okay, so the cloud's still there for a lot of Nigerians.
No, the cloud is no longer there.
How did it disappear?
Because the Nigerian people have moved on with the president.
Who said they moved on?
The facts are there.
Less than 10% of Nigerian voters voted for him. So that he doesn't have some big mandate from the people that means that I can't ask you, why did he give back $500,000 to the US government, which were believed to be the proceeds of drug trafficking, and you believed they were the proceeds of drug trafficking?
Why do you conduct a polling with 500 people and give a representation of the population?
You're now questioning all polls. Is that your defense?
No, I just said the point. You heard me well.
Well, you don't trust the Nigerian people.
I trust the Nigerian people.
This idea of drugs and narcotics is a terrible case all over the world. And if someone has that questionable character and is elected as president, what it means is that it will embolden people who are into those activities. That is why this person has to come out clean. You said those words.
If somebody has that, thank God he doesn't have.
How do we know he didn't come out clean? You said he has to come out clean in 2022.
Okay, let me put it this way. This fact was litigated.
No, it wasn't.
This fact was litigated in the Nigerian court, and the apex court of the land, the Supreme Court of Nigeria, whose decision is not appealable to any court outside Nigeria, held that this case has not been established against him.
Your words were that there's still a cloud around them because it was not conclusively concluded
My word
in favor
and the judgment of the Supreme Court, which one is relevant? In the Constitution of Nigeria, all the decision of the Supreme Court bind all authorities and people throughout the Federation. That's what matters.
The fact that he had laundered drug money, most likely in his US bank account, is not an issue for you now. It was an issue for you a few years ago. It's suddenly not an issue when you go to work for the man. How convenient.
The court has held the allegation that was put up in the petition against him could not be substantiated.
Well, the US hasn't held that. And in fact, the US court tried to release all the files, and the president rushed to stop them from doing that. Innocent people, is that what they do?
What stopped them from releasing it?
Is innocent
What
people?
stopped them from releasing it?
It's ongoing in the courts.